Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for our Oracle meditation this week with MARKANNA Wellness. I'm Anna,
And I'm Mark.
and it's Halloween week. So we have one of our new decks that we're going to use, which is the Seasons of the Witch Samhain deck. So they have decks of these for every like pagan holiday, which, as many of you probably know, Samhain is the original holiday that Halloween has evolved from, basically. So it's one of the pagan holidays, and Samhain is like a Gaelic word. So it's spelled differently than how it sounds.
Hmm.
And Mark joked when he first saw it, he just thought it said shaman.
When I glanced at it, I thought, does it say shaman? Oh, that's cool.
But it is Samhain, so Friday's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. And we'll see which card comes up today for our meditation.
Yeah, I've saged the deck, and these cards are really pretty. The back looks really pretty too.
And the edges they're like a red foil look.
Very shiny.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
All right, let's see what Season of the Witch Oracle has to say. Very slippery.
We've used them a few times.
Oh, so we got grief. So it is but a mere glimpse of nothingness hidden away deep within the chambers of our morning, in the red clovers, birthing lost illusion. So I think we'll see what the book has to say about this, but just looking at the card and the picture on the card kind of depicts, a figure here that seems kind of bound a little bit by their grief, maybe kind of working their way through it.
Well, and something it says too is that grief isn't exclusive just to losing somebody. It can also manifest like when you feel like you have failed at something, or if you have regret, maybe when you're overwhelmed or guilty. So just thinking of it kind of in a broader sense, um, and just being able to know that it's okay to mourn the things that we've lost. And kind of grief obviously has phases, but it can just kind of come and go here and there, and you don't always know when it's going to come. So being able to kind of bring it back to gratefulness of what we are satisfied with in our life and not putting too much focus on what's missing and just knowing what people and opportunities that we still have around us. And I think being able to just kind of take the power back when we are feeling that sometimes.
All right. Well, let's do a little meditation on grief and not trying to run away or ignore these feelings, how we can really alchemize that kind of feeling into our new passion or that just excitement for life that's right now. Okay, so softly closing our eyes here, finding a comfortable seat, just taking a moment to notice our breath. Always like to sense into our breath here first, just breathing in through our nose and breathing out through our nose. And just bringing that word to mind here, grief, and what does that bring into your mind or into your body? What do you feel or sense when you think of grief? So we're all going to have a little different idea of what that means to us. But just like Anna said and the card said, grief sometimes we think about death or losing someone. And it's okay to have these feelings of just missing or, we want to be able to talk to these people that are gone. Really just kind of forgetting that we still have that connection. We still have that energy here living inside us. And really, even though we've maybe lost something, that energy's still with us. We can still remember all the love and the joy. We can let all that ugliness or just anything we feel from this grief, we can start to alchemize that energy, just knowing that whatever we do miss, it also misses and loves us. There's no separation here from that feeling, that sensation. And then just noticing how we also grieve so much about these little things in our life when we sometimes don't get our way, or we feel like someone else got the job and we should have, or whatever it is here in our life that is causing us that pain or that misery of grief. How can we use that to better understand ourself? Can we use that energy to just make ourselves better, not only to feel better, just knowing that we're doing everything we can. There's always more that can be done. But where do we find that pause, that peace? To me, that peace starts to come in when we really fully recognize and allow ourselves to feel everything that comes in, not trying to deny it or push it away, but also not letting it fully just become us. What do we want to represent? How do we want to be noticed and seen? Or do we even care how we're seen or noticed? All these little things are going to make a huge difference when they all come together. Being fully aware and feeling out the energy that's coming in, knowing that it's valid, it means something to us. But then we truly must shift out of that energy, moving that energy into this life we have right now in this moment. Maybe you notice a bunch of things you feel like you could have done different. You just have to let all that fall to the side so that when that new opportunity comes in, we're not stuck in this old idea of ourself or this old pain, even though it may come back up from time to time. Just allow yourself to notice and try to take the good away from what's there instead of letting our mind keep piling on what we did wrong or what we could have done different. You really can only do anything about that right now. So just being grateful for this experience that you still have a breath. You can breathe in only what you need. You may notice other things wanting to come in as you breathe in. Maybe things you don't want to think about or feel. See if you can just observe what you feel and notice without trying to really break it down or judge it in any way. Maybe you just say to yourself, I notice I'm feeling. I notice I'm thinking. Now, can you notice what we're doing with that energy after it comes in? Is it pulling us down or taking us backwards? Or is it helping to inspire us to be our best for everyone around us? And then maybe bringing to mind, maybe you have a friend or family member that's going through grief right now. Maybe something just completely out of your control. Can you still come back to that piece of your presence, of witnessing, and then just sending some positive, loving energy to that friend or family? Sometimes just a kind word or just giving them a call just to tell them, hey, I'm here. I feel these things too. And just remembering we're not alone, even though we feel alone here in our own bodies sometimes. It's all on us, how much we want to connect and how much we want to release here. So just softly opening our eyes, coming back to this space. I think grief, affects all of us in many different ways. Just like when someone dies and we have that grief, but also in all those little things through life that we get upset with ourselves or, really beat ourselves up about. How quick can we shift out of that, you know, just judgment of ourselves? If we're doing all the best things we can and really trying to do our best all the time, there's still things that are going to go wrong or happen and we're going to feel bad, but
I think what it makes me think of, like, in the context of this time of year that we're in, Samhain and Halloween actually marks the midpoint between the start of fall and the start of winter. And we have daylight savings time this weekend, so that's when we have more hours of darkness. And I think too, it's like along with Day of the Dead, which is Saturday as well, in the cultural tradition of that holiday, being able to honor those that have passed and have like an ofrenda or an altar where you're giving an offering to those who aren't with us anymore. And, they say that the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest at that time of year. So just knowing that, like, if there's someone who's passed that you want to feel more connected to this time of year, that you can do some kind of ritual or offering to honor that person.
yeah, I love that. And even just every day, anytime, you're always connected, to the energy. Even especially if it's a family member, this DNA, this energy is inside us, all that experience.
Hmm.
I just like to always remember the beautiful things, and that helps me remember that I'm still here. I get to still make and do things and maybe even draw in some of that experience and energy from those others that are gone and missing, because it's all still alive in us. It's even though we can't see or feel or touch these people.
Yeah. I think it's just taking something that on the surface seems more sad and just kind of bringing out the good parts of that
And
energy.
and I say that, I mean, you may even be able to sense and feel and touch this energy. It may be coming into you in a different way. So I don't want to be like, you can't, because some can. So just being one with that energy and that knowing that we're all in this together, what do we really want to feel and represent?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for our meditation this week. But if you're here in Oklahoma City, we are having our Tarot Talks event on Halloween on Friday at 6:45 after Mark's yoga class. So we still have space for that if you want to join. Otherwise, we will see you for our Scorpio season reading. I think we'll have time to do that this weekend.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so
Thank you
much.
guys. And you can follow us at MARKANNA Wellness on Facebook and Instagram. Bye.